Hey, what's up, YouTube? Mark here from the Backpacking Gear Nut, and I'm sorry that I haven't put out a video in a few weeks, but I had to have surgery because I broke my foot on one of my backpacking trips. The next video I'm putting out is going to give more information about that, but I'm just now kind of able to get up and make videos again. So I'm feeling pretty good now, but I won't be able to go backpacking for like 2 months. But probably after a month or so, I can start at least car camping or something with my boot on. But for now, let's talk about the stove. And so this stove is my favorite stove. This is the BRS 3000T. And what I like about this stove is how inexpensive and light it is. Now, this stove weighs in at slightly less than an ounce. My scale said 0.9 ounces, pure the metric system, 26 grams. And at the time that I purchased this, and also when I looked today, which is funny because it's been the exact same price for years. It was $16.95. Now, to my knowledge, there is no lighter isobutane stove on the market than this. Now, you'll find this under other brand names because it's just an OEM Chinese stove that companies can put their own brand names on, but the most famous of all of them, I believe, is the BRS brand. And it's got a nice surface for putting your pot on it, and it works really well. It's got a small burner diffuser, but that's part of the lightweight of it. Now, the reason why I really like this stove is not only because of the price and the weight, but it folds down incredibly small and packs away very easily. So that's another good thing about it. The downsides to this stove is it's not as efficient for fuel. So when I carry one of these little 100-gram isobutane containers with me, I can go 4 or 5 days cooking 3 meals a day, just fine with it. Now, if I was going on a longer trip, that would not last long enough, and I might want to bring something more like this stove right here, which is the jet boil stove. And this stove right here, this little container will last me an extra day or two because of the efficiency of this stove. They both heat water really fast, really quick. The BRS is obviously, because it's less efficient, is a little slower, but we're talking about less than a minute slower to boil 2 cups of water. So that's just not a big deal for me on most of my backpacking trips because I'm not a through hiker. So I tend to just do sections, and so 4 or 5 days is plenty for me. And honestly, if I'm going more than that, I can just get the container that's one size up from this, and then I could go for 3 weeks. Now, let me tell you things that people don't like about the stove. I already talked about the fact that it's not as efficient on fuel. There's a lot of people that's really important to them, and so that might be a deal breaker. That might be why you get a pocket rocket too, or something else like this jet boil stove, or even the pocket rocket deluxe, because it's got a wider burner, and so it's going to heat even more efficiently. So if that's really important to you, this is not the stove for you. But another thing that may be a deal breaker with this stove is there's a few people out on the internet that I've seen that said that they don't like this stove because it's been a bit fiddly for them, or I believe Dan Becker said that he doesn't like the stove because it's failed on him. I've never once had an issue with my stove. It has worked every time. It has not been that difficult. Another thing that people don't like is they feel like they can't control the burner as easily because it's just really delicate as far as how much you turn it to get it to actually burn more, burn less. I've used it long enough now that I actually can control the flame pretty good just because I've learned about the touch of it. So I think that that's more of like a getting used to thing. But I think those are kind of the major things. There's a little O-ring in here that people say fall out. Well, they give you a spare O-ring for free. So you can just carry that spare O-ring with you. So I made it easy for you. There's some links down below that give you ability to go to Amazon and find this really easily. And I put some links to some other stoves that I also like down there that they're more than double the weight of this, but if you're somebody who doesn't want to have a stove that's not as efficient in fuel, then these would be great lightweight stoves for you. So please click on this video if you're interested in the Jetboil stash, and I'll see you on the next one.